but he's gonna do that with Paranoia into a teleport, so he takes that flank, he gets those, let's say, surprise kills. So it's gonna be a different Omen than what we typically see because of the Viper that will allow it to take control of the map, will smoke off a lot of angles and use the snake bites to cut off other angles, and then Omen will just do what he does best in an aggressive stance.
Okay, we're going to see the personality come through in these agents. So guys, if you're just tuning in, look towards SUMN FC. Keep your eyes on Mistic, keep your eyes on Doma. These two could create moments, but the devs did say this map does look very favorable to the opponents of Purple Cobras. So we'll see how this one unfolds. We're live into it right now. Still a quarterfinal, so a lot to be seen, and it looks like a pretty default piece up short towards A so far. Nice little dash, but that's going to open up to Mistic. That's one, that's two, and a third!
Why do you even try to attack when you know there's a one way from Viper here? That's insane. They didn't get in recon like that tells them exactly where the opponents are. It's fantastic.
This is exactly why that Viper coming in is going to keep our attention, because it's things maybe they're not so used to dealing with. But seeing that one way, you're right, they should have noted it instantaneously. But now we're down to Honeybee and Fancy, the last two standing for the Cobras. They'd love to get some damage done, but all the rotations are here. Mo's got the first. Fancy. That footwork better be good. The knife's around.
Oh my god, the knife!
Oh, Doma,
still, this was a prime gaming flawless round.
Oh, I'm so happy. I'm just happy. I hope everyone's happy at home, because we just got to see a really sick round. Like, let's talk about that one way that came in and how they were able to kind of capitalize on that.
So I think what is very important is when you play against a Viper in a pistol round and you don't know the exact playstyle she represents yet for that team, it's important to get that recon and try to bait out the utility first. What Cobras did is what they do typically in almost every single map is just, oh, let's just push. Yeah. And they pushed through a snakebite for a one-way. It was a recipe for disaster.
Okay, let's see if they can recover. And hopefully for the Cobras, it looks like a very clean round coming out from them. Just, you know, the classics. I don't see any upgraded weaponry. So they're going to try and keep this clean. If they can do anything, a spike plant, maybe get a gun away, these are all small ticks in the boxes for them. And for now, it looks like kind of a little bit of a lean towards B, but you can see already that utility exchange towards the showers. That constant back and forth of information between teams is going to be constant in this.
Really like the way SUMN is playing this. No one stayed on a ghost, not a classic everyone buys. I really like the fact that also there's one Stinger, because that's the guy that's going to be saving a lot more cash on top of the other people in this team. So there are no chances here. SUMN knows that they play for their strengths. They want to keep this momentum going. They're not going to lose an eco. To an eco. Sorry.
Exactly. But that is a massive thing, is keeping control of the economy. Now, good information for Doma. Already going to get the good idea of where they're going. You'll imagine they'll be trying to play as a pack, and now seeing that come through, you know there's at least a couple more players coming their way. And you can see for now, SUMN FC keeping good range. They're not going to get trying toyed into any of these close fights. And exactly as expected, it's going to be a clean sweep so far. Yes, they've lost out on Shack, but beyond that, this is safe and comfortable. And have Doma getting the kills is always beneficial. This is a player that will respond to getting that confidence early. It's something that I guess we were discussing, you know, before the game started, is some of these players are a little less experienced. You know, I'm used to not having to consider this, but some of them need that good start. They need that confidence builder. Get a couple of easy frags, yeah, maybe against pistols, but it gets that momentum building.
True, we kind of need to see the stats on how old are the players.
Yeah.
Because when you consider other tactical FPS games, these seen as like, you know, rooted in ground for a very long time.
Yes.
And here we have a lot of newcomers coming from other games, maybe even didn't play a competitive game before.
Absolutely.
So it's very interesting. One more thing that I wanted to point out in the previous round is that I have seen Cobras play for orb control. They realized that SUMN is going to play very defensively, and because of that, they're putting kind of away any attention to the orbs, and that means that Cobras will be able to fight for those orbs without any, like, you know, repentance basically coming from SUMN.
Now, I like this one way being shown again. Now, I wonder if they've been able to read into it after that pistol. This is a very similar position for Mistic here. Tucked himself in the corner, waiting to see if anyone comes through. It is going to buy time. We're about down to a minute or so. The intention may be starting to be red here, but this is a very all-in piece, and that freebie that Boaster got at the start is going to help. A quick switch to the gun, and Boaster's going to get another. The man leading from the front so far, as Mistic still gets away with it. Back goes the orb, and the chances once again get denied. Keep in mind, they have 2 leftover SMGs up against a fully fought out Cobras. They had all the rifles that they wanted, but now Vlad and Fancy need to do some damage. This otherwise will be a whitewash, but I love how SUMN FC are playing this. Very considered, very playing deep, making the Cobras come to them. And now the last player noted, nice shot from Vlad.
30 seconds left.
A 1v4 is a little bit of a tall task. Let's stick on board with Vlad, see what he can make happen from this one if possible. Have a little view, see what's up in potential. He's got the second. Not bad. This is great work. If they keep feeding him, they're going to cost them money. Those reinvestments get a little bit trickier. Of course, the money should be okay for SUMN FC, but Vlad's still going to start working out a little here. Spike is in a very bad spot, so that's pretty much the end of the line, but damage is key.
Well, for SUMN, this is going to be let's say just a gratis round. Anyway, this is going to be a bonus round for them, even if they lose 2 or 3 players. Winning this round is instrumental for their momentum to be keeping up.
So I think the one thing I wanted to know is, did they get the rifles back? And I think they did. They're not going to have to reinvest too much, so they've at least kind of ensured that they keep as many rifles that were taken away from those players, as Vlad did very well here. You could see he was trying to stick around to maybe maintain coverage of the utility, and look what it's done to the Purple Cobras. That money is looking rough.
Yeah, this is going to be a half buy. We see, like, you know, mixed weapons here. 1 scout, sheriff, 2 sheriffs actually. And Machina is probably playing with his ultimate. No, not yet. He's probably sitting at 4 or 5 charges. We'll see if he's going to go for those orbs in this round. But in general, it's not looking good for Cobras.
So this is, honestly, I expected a similar performance from someone like, you know, a Liquid or a G2. Maybe not so much G2 because they are that fast and loose style. But for me, I like to see kind of poise. I like to see, okay, let's play it deep, let's play smart, let's kind of set the tone, set the tempo. And that's what SUMN FC are doing. They are making the Purple Cobras play a style that they'd hate. They have to go on the site hits, but a shot like that might open up an opportunity. tsack's now in a bad spot. You can see all the utility poured in towards the site, and suddenly they've lost control. With Mistic gone down, that's surely a spike plant too, and it is. And now the post plant is a 5v3. SUMN FC caught off, and this hit is looking delicious for the Purple Cobras. Mo and tsack are the last 2 alive and playing back in. It looks rough by all standards. That's a save, surely.
This is a messy round. For SUMN, of course, right? They never have thought that they're going to lose this round. They play against a half buy that doesn't really represent any threat, but it started out with a bang. That scout, that Marshall shot was insanely powerful when it comes to like putting intimidation factor on that team. And because of that, we have seen that SUMN just kind of backed out from the side, allowed Cobras to just take control, get that pause planned, and then we had seen another crazy shot that basically destroyed the confidence in SUMN's NFC retake abilities.
And I want to highlight that is one of the strengths of the Purple Cobras, is the fact that we know they can absolutely bang a shot or 2. So a little bit of a reminder, a little bit of a quick kind of check for SUMN FC saying, hey guys, all right, you can't just take lazy peeks out here and there. You will get punished. And as I said, the Marshall doing the job, it certainly resonates. Makes you feel a little silly, but it is what it is. I want to see what the buy's like coming out. Prioritizing utility, it seems, for tsack here. So going to be down towards a slightly lighter weapon, but he should be able to operate it just fine, considering. I want to see how he approaches this, because we do have a lot of very unique abilities coming out from these guys and how they like to approach the game itself. And a very standard start for the Purple Cobras this time.
What really is really curious for me is that we know, and everyone knows on the server, that currently the Viper is taking a control with that very aggressive one-way, with the snake spikes to just basically cut off any kind of rush after the dash from the Jett. But because of that, like, really impenetrable wall on A short, we still see only 2 people on B, which I think is kind of weird because Cobras probably realize it's easier to get on B, but it's so much harder to retake actually that side. So I would love to see SUMN move 1 player to B defense, but we'll see how that goes in the next rounds.
I want to see if Boaster would be the one to do it. I'm trying to think of who you'd put away from there. The utility, I feel, for 2 other players. I'll come back to that in a second because it looks like they're starting to try and build up, and there it is. Boaster is the first man to try and come over. Through the TP, finds Machine, and now looking for more. You can hear the ults being popped, trying to find a bit of damage where they can. And for now, SUMN FC hold the line. And that little bit of a dabble towards our window room has been instantly quelled.
That just answers my, you know, everything I was talking about in a second. It's so perfectly played because instead of being defensive with 3 people on B, they just played an aggressive stance that put another player on that side. And now, easy advantage for SUMN. Very nicely, confidently played.
Yeah, these trades are fantastic for SUMN FC. Not overstepping, not taking too many individual fights on their own, ensuring they always have a trade available. Now, let's see if Honeybee can do anything. I think it's time to look towards keeping the gun up, trying to keep that economy building for yourself. But we were considering, okay, what happens if they keep attempting to go towards B on the attacking side for the Purple Cobras? Well, the answer was that Boaster would be the first man through. He'll take that, I guess, duty as his own. He'll be the first one through the teleporter instantly there. And I think you're right, having Viper in the position she is currently, you don't need to have 3 players dedicated. So maybe seeing that is very, very, very reassuring.
You're really right, but I wanted to point out that SUMN has all those small details really placed well into their strategy. The snakebite going in on the garden to stop in the rush, because basically you cannot push for that. If you ever push for snakebite, the damage that it does is really just doesn't matter. This is gonna be like 30 damage or something, but the debuff allows everyone to be just killed with two shots.
This is sick. Okay, so we've had a 2-play push through the showers, and they've switched over Viper to just contain space. I love this little bit of a defensive strategy coming out from SUMN FC. I hope the Des can break this down if it does come into like a really nice piece. But this is a lot of pressure on the Viper. This comes down to Mistic buying time for rotations to come back around, because they have information that A, no one's here, but it's all up long, and the hit's going to come through pretty soon. Mo's in position. Mystic's already done incredibly well. Boaster's there, and it's just gorgeous to see a plan come together like this. The Purple Cobras, it's all been seen. He doesn't need to see the kill.
What a beautiful round. This just brings joy to my heart. Everything here fell into place like a puzzle, you know? It was every single piece of utility was backed up by a movement from the team and ended up in a kill. So first we have seen Viper push with the utility, with the snakebite to stop any rush to hookah, which allowed 2 players from a teleport and get easy kills because the opponents were distracted by the utility in window on B. And then in the meantime, we had Rolling Thunder coming into on side that just basically dismantled the last two pieces of the opponent's team, which were put into a recon dart. So
it's perfect.
You could have just killed everyone without even watching that game monitor.
I absolutely love that. I could watch that all day long. Seeing defensive teams taking a proactive stance is wonderful. And they only have to do it once, because now, for the Purple Cobras, they have to be so aware of the chance of someone pushing out aggressively for information. Now we're seeing a bit of a response, having Jett pushing in towards showers, maybe trying to reclaim some of that territory and build up towards a potential A hit. We haven't seen this kind of 3-2 split potentially, so I want to see how this works out. Mistic a little bit deeper this time. Jett's already in, so you're going to see it starting to build. Machine with a good first pick. That's isolated Doma, and now he's dead. But Mo's going to try and even the kill, but nothing coming for this one, but over-aggression from Machina. That's going to be a problem. Mystic still holding the line.
If I'm not mistaken, Fancy's on 2 HP. He was sitting in a snakebite while droning. He had to cancel the drone and just basically change his position.
Should run.
You know, it's a 4v4, but SUMN still has a lot of utility that they can use for this retake, but I don't think they will need it.
At the moment, it's going pretty well. The Killjoy's been removed from viability, so Hugstar's sweating bullets now. It looked so good for just a second. He's got one, spins around, the second evades, and Mo gets the job done. I am thoroughly impressed once again by SUMN FC. That was the best we've seen, I feel, from the Purple Cobras. Get on the site, get the pick, spike down, but then that retake was so well choreographed.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me a little bit of Heretics from yesterday.
Yes.
It's a very similar playstyle, but I do think SUMN are actually better at it. Like, it looks like a ballet. Coordinated, everything just feels right. When you watch it, it's like an orchestrated piece. Very nicely done. And I also like very much one thing that Mistic is now doing with the Viper. He is not a character like, let's say, Killjoy right now, who needs to be in a certain position or range of her utility to make it work. He can be roaming the entire map. We have seen him first 3 rounds basically put an anchor on A to give information to the opponents that he's not moving from here. But now we can see him. He was once on B, now he's on Heaven A. He's taking different positioning, so it's pretty tough for Cobras to attack on site and be aware where can anyone be. They have to check all the angles. There's not a single common one that they had seen in the past.
I'm enamored with how SUMN FC are playing so far. I want to see if it continues. I think the Purple Cobras, the problem is, stylistically, playing up against a team so well stratted and prepared makes it very hard for their playstyle to apply. It's kind of that FPX up against G2 style. Those kind of contrasting abilities, but the Cobras just aren't getting the opportunity to get going. We know they can frag out, we know that they can take big results, but this was meant to be a good map for them, keep in mind. So if you're just tuning in, this was meant to be probably the one the Purple Cobras were going to do well on, but we'll see. Already the ults are being popped, so maybe keeping control early on. Curious. First time we're seeing it towards the showers.
Peculiar move. Typically, a Viper would like to cut out a bigger, let's say, range of possible motions from their opponents, but in this case, he just shuts off showers completely for anyone. Oh, by the way, one very interesting thing. SUMN plays 5 Phantoms, which I love, based on their compositions, because there are cages from Cypher. The Mistic plays Viper with the wall and the smokes, and then we have Doma with the smokes as well. Basically, the entire map will be smoked off to some degree, and because of that, you want to play Phantom because of the suppressors. There are no traces. Okay. There's no way of shooting you through the smoke because you leave basically no signs of your shots.
Well, those knives are going to leave a couple of signs. They know what's happening now. So Jack's a little isolated on his own. Could be in danger, but wait, they don't check on it. That could have been a bigger problem than it was, but he does manage to live. This will be a retake time, but let's have a little look, see if maybe Hugstar can get something done. No, through the smoke, the wall just plays so well for Boaster. He can sit patiently on the other side. And they've maintained this kind of defensive side territory here. So this retake has building blocks. Now the utility, what's left? A good amount. They haven't burned through their utility on SUMN FC. Whereas for the Cobras, it's the guns at their side at this point, and they are weaker, but a plant is good. It means the clock is in their favor, but the retake is so well done. The trades are there. 0 threats to be found. I'm really liking this team.
So, what I really liked about this situation is how calm SUMN played. They know they play against a half-buy. So it's crucial to not give any weapons to the opponents. This is why I have seen tsack not play aggressively on elbow, well, when he could, because he did dink the opposing Jett, which was Mahina, and he didn't push him, even though he knew he's basically one-shot. So he played strategically. He didn't want to go for a possible trade and give that Phantom, because that actually gives more opportunities for Cobras to win that round. So very well played, good communications, I'm going to assume, because someone is keeping everything in check.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what Mini said as well at the start. The fact he said it was going to be a clean game, I didn't think he meant like this. This is as clean as you could ever dream of. As a coach, you're sat there just beaming at this point. But the Purple Cobras need an answer, and we've seen this again, this aggression. I love seeing defensive side aggression, but it is going to always leave a gap available, and this is seeming to be aware to Doma. They seem to know, well, we've left short open, so there could be a threat. Let's see if they handle it. They do. Doma just proven to be better. That Omen just different. And now Machine is still here towards Lamps, looking for the opportunity. You can see the ult being popped, so now the information starts to filter through. They haven't got the spike down yet, but the shock darts are there, and that Jett is going to be feeling a little uncomfortable. Hugstar does get removed, and now just 2 alive for the Purple Cobras, but where is that spike? It's in the hands of Jett, so maybe there's still a chance to get that timing in their favor. So they're looking for information. Machine trying to pull himself back around, look for a player. They could do with a pick in this, but you can see Mistic already taking territory. Yeah, takes territory, takes the head. Machine goes down. Say goodnight. This is an outclassing, and I really didn't expect to see this.
It's just so clean. I mean, at this point, probably viewers are like a little bit mad at me because I'm just praising SUMN this entire game, but it's a 1-8 scoreline so far.
Yeah.
It's really because of the fact that they play so well, and this is why I'm so happy seeing this, because personally, I love a playstyle like this. I don't like bravado. I don't like being, flashy. Like Scream impressed me yesterday because he was playing out of his mind.
Of course.
But this is more impressive. This is something I love in tactical shooters.
What is this buy? Hold on. I just saw a sheriff for no reason. I assume there is a real gun with that. I don't know why there wouldn't be.
For sure has Phantom.
Yeah, it's just kind of like it caught my eye, but they should be fine. The Purple Cobra is still looking for an opportunity. These kind of 3-2 splits towards B. They have got a spike plant, I believe, on this side, but they haven't been able to maintain in those retakes, those post plants. And already, let's look for the first pick to come through. Jack's already going to be up for the challenge. Has a little bit of presence noted towards window, so they're going to have to clear that as they go. Doma sitting a little further back. Position now noted, so they are getting the info, and you can see intention now being shown behind it. But falling away, no real pressure yet.
Yeah, they didn't breach anything. They used some utility. They have no paranoia anymore. Only one smoke available from Vlad, and they didn't push on site, which is very interesting. I wanted to point out one more thing that is very important. In the beginning of the round, we had Mo40 was pushing showers. He used the Hurricane arrow because he really wanted that orb to get his ultimate online. And now with Hunter's Fury available, they have an easy retake, or they have an easy way of delaying the plant, which will probably happen, and we're gonna see Mo just using it from the defender spawn.
Okay, but they've made it on the site. This is the first time we've actually seen 2 picks untraded as well.
Left.
Nice work from the Cobras, maybe just tempering the pace slightly, and they've actually got it working for themselves. Down to Mo and Mistic to try and clutch this out. Surely the spike goes down. It is. And the position they're left in, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't go for it at this point. I'm sure their money is in a safe enough spot, so you might as well give it a crack. But at the moment, the Purple Cobras have this kind of wrapped up. You've got utility starting to be shown, though. They're starting to have a little look. You can see the stepping out here, trying to get around. Nice little readjust, though. And Omen, nice little off angle for Vlad. And this looks like it should be the second, and it is. Well done in the end to the Cobras to kind of temper the pace. It looked like they went for the initial hit to draw out utility from the defending side, reset themselves, and then re-aggressed.
Yeah, and they were stopped by Mo's ultimate to plant for the first time, but unfortunately, SUMN didn't have the strength behind it to push that position on A side and try to kind of retake it the moment the ultimate was done. So what I really liked about Cobras here was the execution in the post-plant situation, where we have seen there's a duel starting between Mistic and the Jett in the window between Machina, and then the Omen just double peeks and assures his teammate he doesn't die. This was very well done, very well synergy by those two players.
Ooh,
oh my
Hugstar.
god.
The man, he's got flair, to say the very least. But right now, you can see instantly the Omen on the opposing side falls back. Says, all right, well, you can take that. That's not where you plant the spike anyway. I don't care. Take that control. But let's see what Hugstar does with this now. It's opened up a window of opportunity. He gets the tag, not the frag. Mistic turns around. And all the kills thus far have been favorable to SUMN FC. Yes, they lost part of the side, but not all of it. That Viper wall is going to keep them at bay as well. This is tricky for the Cobras. No picks are being found.
Yeah, they have no idea how to deal with the Viper right now. The Viper wall kind of is like a little bit helpful for them, but at the same time it's easier to retake the side with that wall, so they're a little bit confused. And unfortunately for Hugstar, he was confused by seeing 2 opponents at the same time, and now easy retake. Wow, that's so clean. Flawless, by the way. Which is brought to
Prime
you
Gaming.
by Prime Gaming.
There it is.
Round
And a lot of this game has been flawless. I think, for me, this is just watching a very well-constructed team. Now, keep in mind, and I know that narrative that Mini didn't want to harp on is, these guys, get them a damn team. Look at how they're playing this. Now, will this work against the next round of opponents if they win this? I don't know. I don't know how far you can take this, because I feel like they are not holding anything back. And someone like, let's say, FPX might be watching, goes, we are going to take note of all of this now. We are not going to, ignore
We're
this for
gonna
a second.
steal some strats.
Yep. So again, we'll see a triple stack towards window. Oh, and say goodbye to 2 of them. Boaster keeping hopes alive for SUMN FC this round and re-aggresses. The man is bold today. He's holding this down, and he can then funnel the reinforcements to say, all right, just care long. That's the only place they can be.
They lined up like an average Jonas lineup. That was unfortunate for the players from SUMN.
All the utility being poured down now, all the ultimates pop. The Cobras know that they need a buffer of bare minimum 3, something to work with on that second half. And you've got to give it credit where it's due. They've just about found it. I thought maybe there was a chance for it still to go the other way, but yeah, they're not letting this go for a second. Mo is going to be forced to fight and potentially forced to die. And yeah, Vlad's going to seal that deal.
He was shot in the knee, but he had 4 HP, so it didn't matter.
Yep.
I really like this. I think this was the round that was kind of showing how Cobras typically play.
Yeah.
Overconfident pushes, good shooting, and kind of dismantle the opponents, right?
Yep.
But it didn't work for the first, well, let's say, 10 rounds. And they found the pace when the half was already over. Now, the big test comes in. We know that SUMN doesn't play with a single duelist. How they will use now the composition to a coordinated attack? And I'm 100% certain they have to get something, like they have something in their pocket, because they cannot rely on flashes from Phoenix, from like getting any kind of aggressive push with his ultimate. There's no Reyna that just goes in, uses Leer, and just goes with a massive confidence on site. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm also interested because we have seen so far all the Viper players on defense only play with one setup. which kind of surprises me. So I would love to see now something like a little bit of variation coming from Mistic when it comes to his utility usage.
Yeah, let's see how they try and navigate the lack of duelist for SUMN FC, and obviously for the other side, for the Purple Cobras, they've got. I honestly say at a scoreline like this, you kind of need the pistol to start with. It's so imperative.
Yeah.
So for now, it's actually a big stack towards the A site for the defensive side. They have 4 players here. They've left just Killjoy on the other side. Quick nades and a quick bait through the TP. SUMN FC go, and they're waiting for anyone to come through on the other side. No one's there. So for now, it's all for nothing. But they're going to draw utility, but keep your eye on Viper.
That wall
Viper's the one
is
with the bomb.
ingenious.
Yep.
I'm gonna talk it a little bit
Do it.
later, but no, let's see what is happening with this round. But that wall is beautiful.
Okay, does Hugstar realize what's going on here? That's what I'm waiting to see, because this is all another fake. They're trying to pull rotations around, and they have dismantled the stack. But Hugstar's getting curious, and curiosity, well, we know it can kill cats, but can it kill SUMN FC? No, not right now it can't. Mystic's already found him, and you're going to see once again the wall goes up. They start to take map territory, map control. Round we go again. Where are they going to end up? If we don't know, I'm pretty sure the Cobras don't know. They're baffled, but they're still banging out headshots.
Oh, the plan didn't fall through, let's say like that. They wanted to push a fake towards B, but Cobras actually checked showers and the A short, so now they have to come into B control,
30 seconds
which
left.
wasn't a fake in the first place.
But they've still got a favorable fight towards the site itself, so Spike should go down. That wall kind of allowed safe passage for the Viper to get across through the TP. But now in the post plant, it is a 3v3, so chances are pretty fair in this one, and Machine's position is going to be rough. Oh my god, Mo somehow wins that fight, and he's still going!
Headshots.
He's just turreting around on his own, and yes, 2 still stand, but look at them. They're walking wounded, and now that post plant utility is going to make this horrific to play against, and they know it.
Oh, and he dies to the snake bite. Yeah, okay, this was beautiful. There was one thing that didn't really make me happy, but it's still not done. 1 HP on Vlad, but that snake bite is so powerful.
And yeah, the defuse, done for. Mistic, you are my MVP. You've just shown how you play Viper with style.
All right, so I'll take this and make a segment later on, kind of like Mitch, and I'm gonna explain what happened here.
Yep.
But first of all, Mistic did wait for the round to start to use his Viper wall to go through the teleport, which allowed him to fake entrance on A short and then cut off the CT on B side to allow passage when they fake. They want to fake B. They go with the Breach, I can't remember, I think Breach and Sova go on B with those 2 players, they have the best ability to kind of fake it, because they go for the flashes, they go for the recon arrow, which kind of signals they're going to go in, and then they're going to want to execute on A. Unfortunately, Cobras kind of, read through that and pushed showers to get information if someone is waiting there. They got 2 kills, and that kind of ruined the plan, but I really loved it. And then Mistic with the lineup on the snakebite for the post plant, everything was really well orchestrated.
I love the fact we're seeing a lot of, I guess, what everyone theory crafted about, how you could use Viper really well, post-plant scenarios, how the wall will come into effect, the ability to have kind of a one-way smoke potential to it. There's so much viability, but we were waiting to see that one player to kind of show us how it's done. I think we're definitely seeing it here, and bear in mind, this is just pistols coming out for the Cobras. We are on a frenzy or 2, ghost here and there, but it's nothing much to write home about. So it should be a clean one for SUMN FC. That will put them up to 11. It's why getting that pistol round was going to be so imperative. And for now, keeping it very clean. Hugstar's the only one to do some damage. And yeah, this is great stuff from SUMN. And the Cobras unable to make much happen with these pistols.
Yep. The same buy coming from SUMN. They had on defense 4 Spectres and tsack buying a Stinger. Basically allows them to then kind of exchange one of those Stingers to a Spectre in case someone falls down. But in general, they don't really overcommit. Because I personally really dislike when someone is buying a Phantom or a Vandal on second round.
I'm with you, yeah.
So here they play very safely, and at the same time they know how to use that composition they have now for close combat range, combat. And because of all the smokes, all the snake bites, all the ability to just close the range between them and the opponents, they can play with Spectres and Stingers really well, so they don't need to force Phantoms and Vandals on second round.
This is where it might eventually kind of meet its match. Obviously, the buy will be better for the Cobras, but their economy is going to be a worse spot, so we'll see what comes out. and see if the Cobras do maintain in this one. And I'd imagine, seeing what SUMN FC are like so far, they have a plan, but look at the aggression coming down already. Very attentive play from the defensive side. Bringing rifles up close quarter could be a little scary, and just on the other side, SUMN FC are being patient, they're being subtle, and they're waiting their turn. This looks like a set piece again. Yeah, this is looking rough for the Cobras. Fancy's in danger. Doma's there. Goodbye. That's 2 big kills, but Hugstar desperately trying to keep this together, but SUMN are still being so competitive. This is a clean plant. The retake is still a mile away, and there's rifles to be collected. If Jack wants one, there's got to be one nearby.
Yeah, Mo already picked one up, and I think Jack can find one on this side, but he went for lab, and I don't think anyone died in there. Still, this is a round already won for SUMN. They killed 3 people. That hurt the economy so badly. So even if they're gonna fail on this post plant, it's still a good round. But it doesn't seem like it. This is gonna be tough for Cobras.
I don't know how they're going to get him off the spike at this point. They're going to have to commit to it eventually. Halfway there, gets off, goes back in, gun out now, turns around, Jack's down.
Oh, the perfect setup. The crossfire was so well done. And the moment he peeked was also great, because 2 players from Cobras were busy with that one man backstabbing them. And then we have seen the Lambs peek the perfect moment when the Killjoy had to peek and help his own teammate. Beautiful play.
This isn't it. I'm happy to see this. So much composure coming out. And the Purple Cobras, it must be horrible to play against a team that is so well prepared that you've seen occasional moments from like Hugstar just popping off. Individually, the guy is sick. Like, I don't need to tell you guys at home that. You should already know, but I mean, he is having a tough time here. The way they are playing is not allowing much, and it's the final go of things, at least in map 1. Boaster leading the way towards long, over towards B, but you're going to see a couple of players up for the fight, and it might be a brawl. Already Honeybee going to try and sting, but makes only a touch of damage come from it. And effective trading leaves Boaster still standing, but at a player disadvantage.
Still, decent round by Cobras. This is like the Hail Mary. They need to win this round, but fortunately for them, they did stop the initial rush. So the 1 kill coming from, I think that was Vlad, on the Omen in the garden, the judge did work. He needed that 1 kill. If he wouldn't have a kill there was no trade coming in from Machina, so this was imperative to actually get anything going for that round.
I want to see what Boaster does with this. How bold are you feeling? Because you've got the spike right now, Boaster. Now you've cleared the back of the defensive side spawn, the tunnel that leads around, so he knows there's no one there, so they've got time to play with. If they could get a pick, that would be perfect. That's the plan in their mind. Is anyone anywhere near us? Can we get an aggressive pick going? And for now, for the Cobras, stand still, hold an angle, and just play for the retake if we have to.
Yeah, I really like what Cobras are doing. They're
30 seconds left.
playing very patiently, something that is off-brand with them. So this shows the respect they're giving to the opponents, because they want to retake as free at the same time, not going 1 by 1 to be isolated.
Okay, but the thing is now, they've cleared a big enough area, they should have a good knowledge of where the retake's going to come from. I'd have liked to have seen them maybe come up with something a little bit cheesy, maybe double up, but I'm sure someone know better than me. Jett's now been spotted and noted, but the players towards CT are a little isolated, but nice work from Machine. Takes down Mo, and now it's just Boaster in a 1v3. Players everywhere, and he's good for 1, but not for 2. The defuse will come out, and the Cobras live to fight another day.
They can still bite. It's kind of ironic, they play with a snake, but they play against a viper. Snake bite. And they got bitten in 1 round.
Yeah, I mean, this has been... As someone, like, I think a lot of us at the very start of Valorant sat there and, okay, what's viable and what's not? I think my one mistake was me saying, nah, Sova's not that good anyway.
Really?
Like, yeah, that was what I was like, nah, you know, that won't be it. Viper, surely, but obviously...
Well, Viper needed that buff patch.
Yes,
you know?
100%.
Without that, she wasn't good. Like, the snake butt was basically just a decoy.
Yep.
But now, with the debuff, like going for 2 seconds whenever someone is out of it, it's like, it changed so much. I think that was the most important part of her kit being changed. Sova? Well, I think every single tactical shooter would like to have a guy like that in their lineup.
Must be nice, yeah. A cheeky little, you call in the UAV, you're fine. You just get a freebie of information. But we are seeing that long play again, a 4-play split here. With 1, the Cypher just disconnected. So I do want to see how they want to approach with this and what the intention is. So far, they haven't given up much information as to where they are. And it looks like they're going up against 2 players on the B site.
This is going to be a long round, though. I feel like SUMN doesn't really want to push like immediately, even if they're gonna make it in an intent. Will they push it? Oh, actually, it seems like they might. Oh, they did!
This is dangerous. Doma's going to try and get the plant down. Yeah, Spike is in. This is a 5v5 post plant, and they're on the site. Vlad is right there, but so's Boaster. Mo in support. The boombot comes out, but it gets nothing done. Doesn't draw the eyes away long enough to make it count. And he's just kind of to soak that damage as now the 3v3. This is so close. But bear in mind, that clock is favorable to the team on the attacking side here. It's now ticking in their favor. And you're right, where is Viper? It's in that post-plant position again. They have to clear that. Otherwise, you're going to have that utility thrown in. The defuse is going to be horrifically hard to pull off. And Jack is just going to buy time. That's going to be another dead. And this is surely going to be it. Mo sealing the deal. I've got to say it. SUMN FC just made Valorant look gorgeous.
Yeah, this was beautiful. I do actually feel so impressed, like I never had been impressed before when watching someone play Valorant. Everything was in a playbook. They've written it down, they practiced it, they know what to do, when to act on it, and they knew how to press like their own strength to get an advantage. This last round, by the way, when they had a post plant, let's say delayed utility usage set up, the Viper Snake